Today is October the 24th. Let's find out what happened in Israel when it wasn't convenient to follow God. Reading through the Bible in a year. Today I'd like you to read 1 Kings 12 to 15. Now we're starting the history of Israel's divided kingdoms. Last week we saw how because of Rehoboam's unwise actions, Jeroboam split the kingdom. He took 10 tribes, the northern kingdom. Rehoboam stayed with, although Scripture says one tribe, it's probably two. It's probably Judah and Simeon. Simeon, however, has all but disappeared, being absorbed into Judah. Now, Rehoboam and Jeroboam, as kings over Israel, were constantly at war with each other. One of the reasons for this war was there was a religious divide. Look at chapter 12, verses 26 and 27. Jeroboam thought to himself, unless I'm careful, the kingdom will return to the dynasty of David. When these people go to Jerusalem to offer sacrifices at the temple of the Lord, they'll again give their allegiance to King Rehoboam of Judah. What Jeroboam says is, it's not convenient for me to obey the laws that we've been given as tribes of Israel. Instead, let's do something new. He actually fabricated 2 golden calves, just like Aaron had done. This is significant. The 2 calves were traditionally the footstools of the god Baal. Baal is frequently pictured as standing atop 2 calves, 1 foot on one foot on the other, with a lightning bolt in his hand. Apparently, Jeroboam is associating Jehovah, Yahweh, with Baal, saying Jehovah is our name for the god Baal. Let's worship him. He put 1 calf in the south, 1 calf in the north. So the image he was conveying was that Baal stands over all of the northern kingdom. In chapter 13, there's a prophet who denounces Jeroboam and his altar. In chapter 14, another prophecy against Jeroboam. They clearly tell Jeroboam what is going to happen. The interesting thing is that the prophet who basically anointed Jeroboam as king over Israel did that during Solomon's reign. Ahijah is his name. In chapter 11, verse 29, Ahijah comes, and when he sees Jeroboam, he tears his cloak in 12 pieces, hands Jeroboam 10 of the pieces, and then he says, God has chosen you. Now, go and follow God. Go and do the things that Rehoboam is not doing. Ahijah is the prophet who comes back in chapter 14 and prophesies against Jeroboam. I think Jeroboam actually sought him out. I think Jeroboam was thinking, no, Ahijah's on my side. But when he went to talk to him, he sent his wife to talk to him. Jeroboam found out Ahijah was not on Jeroboam's side. He was on God's side, and Jeroboam had been disobedient to God. We have in the latter chapters, chapter 15, Abijam, who rules after Rehoboam's death, And then Asa. Abijam in verse 7 says there was constant war between Abijam and Jeroboam. He had a short ruled for 3 years. Then his son Asa became king in his stead. And Asa, Scripture says, was a man who was devoted to the Lord. Asa rules, and he rules well. In 1511, Asa did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight. Later on in verse 16, we again have that there was constant war between Asa of Judah and Baasha, who we'll see tomorrow, reigning in Israel. There was constant war during this time. Jeroboam dies, his son Nadab rules in his stead, but Nadab has also a very short reign, just 2 years, and then Baasha, at the end of chapter 15, kills Nadab and begins to reign as monarch in Israel. The point is that for Jeroboam, it wasn't convenient to follow the Lord. He felt that if he did, Israel would go after King Rehoboam again. And so he chose a different path. By choosing that path, Jeroboam's dynasty ends shortly after his death. Even when it's not convenient, we need to follow the Lord. Like, follow, and subscribe to this devotional on whatever platform you use to listen to it. Email your questions to us at questions@becomehope.com. Tomorrow, we'll answer the question, what is really important?